What up, everybody? Just finished watching Daybreakers from 2009. Yeah, I'm going through old movies that I've always wanted to finish that I've never finished. And I remember when this came out when I was a kid in elementary school, and everybody was talking about it. Obviously, I was not allowed to watch it. And I remember being on LimeWire one day. Rest in peace, LimeWire. And I remember downloading it and watching like 20 minutes of it and getting extremely bored with it and never understood why there were so many people talking about it. Fast forward a couple years, I would say last year or the year before, like 2022, I tried watching it again. I think it was before I even had this channel up. Probably made it to like 20 minutes in, just like before. Didn't finish it, didn't care for it. And I don't know what it was with Abigail coming out and a couple other vampire movies I want to watch that I haven't finished. I thought about Daybreakers and I'm like, why haven't I finished this? Did I not like it? The first time I knew I didn't like it. The second time, I don't know what my reason was, but I threw it on again. I'm happy I gave it another chance. I have not seen Abigail, by the way. That's why there is not a review of it. Anyways, I was looking forward to just watching a vampire movie. Wasn't looking for anything unique. Wasn't looking for anything different. Just a good old gore fest time. And I got that. And I also got a really good story with pretty good characters. I wouldn't say the character work is amazing. That's not really what the movie's focusing on. But the actors that they do pick, Ethan Hawke and William Dafoe, are the two standouts here. Everyone else does a good job too, but those are the two guys that are going to draw everyone's attention, and they do a really good job. I think this is actually one of my favorite Ethan Hawke performances, and I really like him a lot. A lot of movies he's really good in, and then there's movies like The Black Phone where I'm just like, why? Why did you do this? So I was really intrigued. Like I said, I got a pretty good story out of it, which I was not expecting. I wouldn't say don't, even myself, I went into this just expecting blood and guts, which you do get, but don't expect that to be the whole movie. And that didn't leave me disappointed, actually. I was really happy there was a story and they tried to do something different other than your typical vampire or zombie killing movie. And I think they pulled it off pretty well. The story is very interesting. It's about Ethan Hawke, who is a scientist, goes, he's been working at this lab since he has been infected by his brother. So there is 90% of the population is vampires, and the other 10% are humans. And I don't think they really say how the virus started, but I'm assuming it was, kind of a Walking Dead scenario. But his brother turned him into a vampire. He never wanted to be one. He always wanted to go back to being a human. And at the beginning of the movie, he's a doctor. I wouldn't really say a doctor. He's a scientist for this big corporation that is controlling all the blood that they have left. And they're just holding all the humans that they can, holding on for dear life, and they're sucking the blood out of them slowly so they can keep living. Simple enough. And then you think that's kind of like what the story is, and then in the middle of the movie, it kind of takes a twist. If you haven't seen this movie, I mean, come on, like, I'm going to talk spoilers. It's been out for a while. In the middle of the movie, the story kind of flips a bit in Ethan Hawke. Instead of finding a cure for the Daywalkers so they can just have unlimited amounts of human blood and not to worry about it because there's shortages and they're running out of blood, they're running out of humans because there's only 10% left of them on the earth. So they're running out of time, they're slowly dying. So he's trying to find this cure, and all these experiments he's doing aren't working. And then he ends up kind of switching to the human side with William Dafoe, and they kind of find their own cure for humans. So if you don't want to be a daywalker anymore, You can oh my god, what is this, Blade? If you don't want to be a vampire anymore, you can basically do what William Dafoe did and it'll turn you back into a human. But the 90% of people that are vampires right now, they want to stay like that. They don't want to turn human. So there's just this battle between them. And that's kind of the story, but like the middle portion when Ethan Hawke goes and kind of switches sides and goes against them, I wasn't really expecting. So that was really cool. Really good acting, good cinematography, really, really cool shots. It's only an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes, sorry. The first act is really good. It's probably my favorite of the movie. It just sets everything up really well, introduces you to the world really fast, but at a pace where you can understand what's going on and absorb everything. The middle is there's a couple of scenes that were kind of a drag to get through, and then the ending, it picks back up again. Overall, I would probably give this movie a 7.5 out of 10. There is a couple of things that make it, like, I don't know if I want to rewatch it. I do like how it ended, but it leaves room for a sequel. But at the same time, if they don't do a sequel, this ending kind of is perfect on its own. So that's kind of cool how they did that. It did really well at the box office. I think it was like 20 million, and they made like 65 million. I thought that would be enough to, warrant a sequel, but I don't know. I have no idea what happened there. I know a lot of people are asking for it, but this is more of those, low budget horror movies, even though the effects for the time, they're pretty damn good. I've seen a lot worse in 2009. This looks a lot better than some stuff we get today. So overall, if you want a decent story, a good story actually, more than decent, and you just want to watch a zombie or a vampire movie, sorry, I would say this is a pretty good option. Just be careful because it's not all blood and guts. It's a lot of dialogue, but the story is interesting enough. It might not be for some people, but it was for me, and it did the job. Like I said, don't know if I'd watch it again, but really enjoyed how they just tried to do something different. They didn't really have to. They could have done just a cliche movie and people probably would have bought into it, but maybe this is why it turned me away when I was a kid. It's more story driven, but we're adults now, so we understand. Really good dialogue, and like I said, Ethan Hawke is definitely the standout here. And don't forget William Dafoe, but Ethan Hawke chews up the scenery pretty good, and the kills in here are really well done. So that's basically it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace out.